Hey, it's Tuxedo Mark. It's 7:11 p.m. on Monday, March 7th, 2022, and this is my review of The Batman. Yeah, I went to see it today. It's my first day off from work. So yeah, I decided to go see it. I wanted to see it at noon, but as I was driving there, I realized I wouldn't make it in time. So I stopped for gas and a drink, and then fortunately, the theater also had a 12:30 showing. So I went for that. So I got my ticket right here. Anyway, uh, so first of all, it was good. Let me just say that right away. I enjoyed it. Um, Now, it is a very long movie. Okay. Now, I realized that there were previews at the beginning. And the previews actually didn't start until around 12:36, according to my phone, so that was kind of weird. And I'm not sure how many previews that there were um, before the movie, but there weren't too many. And after the movie, I stayed all the way to the ending credits, through the credits, and then I made a quick stop in the restroom, and then I went out. I didn't check the time right after the movie finished. I probably should have, but I checked it after I got out of the theater. It was 3:55, so I had spent um, nearly 3.5 hours uh, from the time that the previews began. Well, like 3 hours and 19 minutes, basically, from the time that the previews began until the time that I exited the theater. So it wouldn't surprise me if this was a 3-hour movie. Um, Let me actually check the running time. 176 minutes. So it's like 4 minutes shy of 3 hours. It's 2 hours and 56 minutes. And it definitely felt like it. Not that I was really bored or anything, but as it was going on, I was like, wow, this is a really long movie. I didn't even check the time before I went to see it. So, but yeah, it's a long movie. Um, But I enjoyed it. It was really good. Robert Pattinson did a good job. Zoe Kravitz did a good job. Everyone did a good job in this movie. Okay. Um, so okay, let me try to organize my. It's not an origin story. Okay, we do not get Bruce Wayne's origin or Batman's origin story. We don't see a death of the parents or anything. So that's refreshing. Um, they do have some interesting twists in there regarding it, and ultimately, the murders of Thomas and Martha Wayne they remain unsolved. Okay, could be someone, could be a random attack, could have been orchestrated. We don't know. So they kind of keep it vague. Now, as for the plot of this movie, I'm sure you probably already know the Riddler is the main villain. Okay, this movie was dark. It was like really dark. I'm not talking just the fact that it's mostly shot at night, mostly takes place at night, but it's like tonally very dark. It's still only PG-13 as far as I know. There was one F bomb. You're allowed one F bomb in a PG-13 movie. If you do two, then it's rated R. And yes, I know that's stupid. Welcome to America. But anyway, uh, This movie was dark. I mean, the Dark Knight trilogy was pretty dark as well, especially a second one, I think, The Dark Knight. This was wow. Um, the Riddler's whole scheme, his whole plan, it's like it it definitely speaks to current day concerns about hello Coco, about what's going on with like right wing extremism and meeting on like the dark web and plotting attacks against certain figures and in our country and stuff like that. So yeah, this definitely resonates with current events. Let's see. The music, I really loved the score for this film. It's appropriately dark. It's got a few recurring themes that I picked up on. I would like to get the album actually. I saw in the credits that it is available, but I went to Walmart after they didn't have it. I don't know if there's a physical release or if it's just digital. Let me see. But yeah, it was film. Now, I don't know how much that I want to spoil it. If I mean, if you don't want to spoil, I don't think I'm going to really talk much about spoilers that get too in depth into it. But I will say before I went to see the film, I watched the first episode of Gotham, which I have seen before when it first premiered, but I didn't watch any episodes after that. But I wanted to like watch something Batman related before going to see the film, just to kind of get back into the into like the Batman universe. Um, and I enjoy it, so I think I'll continue watching Gotham. Um, now, what else should I talk about here? Yeah, the whole scheme, the big plan was nuts. It was insane. What? Oh, the Batmobile. I guess maybe I'll talk about that. I don't know if we really even get a very good look at it because, like, all of the driving scenes take place at night, and I don't think they go for that full military vehicle type of thing like they did in the Dark Knight trilogy. It looks more like a car, but still like souped up. Hmm. Also, Bruce drives a motorcycle, both as himself, meaning he just wears black and puts a helmet over his head, and as Batman. Um, Selena also drives a motorcycle, and it's kind of it's interesting how he kind of recruits her to be his partner um, in solving this case, mostly because she's personally affected by it. Her roommate um, was kidnapped. She lived with some Russian woman. I forget her name at the moment. But it seems from the way that she was talking about her that they might have been a couple. although we don't see anything to confirm that. But yeah, so like Batman recruits Catwoman. He's like, You're gonna help me with this." So yeah, he also has to talk her down from killing someone and talk her out of using guns, just like in The Dark Knight Rises. So there's that similarity. Um, she doesn't stick around Gotham at the end of the film. She decides to head upstate to Bloodhaven, which I believe is another fictional city in the DC universe. So I don't know if that's setting up like a spin-off movie for her, because that's a specific detail to add. So I don't know. I would welcome a Catwoman spinoff. Uh, I would have liked one with Anne Hathaway from the Dark Knight trilogy. But anyway, we do see Bruce's detective skills as he tries to piece things together and go through files and stuff. So it's good that they kept the detective aspect of his character. So you're probably wondering, how does Robert Pattinson do in the role? Fine, he's fine. Here's the thing, though. He is completely different as Batman than as Bruce Wayne. When he's in the costume, you believe he's Batman, okay? His take on Bruce Wayne is like different than what Christian Bale did and what Ben Affleck does. He's not the muscular, handsome playboy billionaire. Okay, he looks like more of an unkempt nerd. If I had to like give a description for it, I'd say emo Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know. He's definitely better than Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Okay, it's just that his Bruce Wayne. It's kind of like what I guess what Christopher Reeve did as Clark Kent. You know, he's more of a dork. Um, and yeah, he's got like messy hair, not Edward hair, but still, it's like his bangs are hanging in front of his forehead, and you could definitely he definitely pulls off the different personas. Like he keeps them vastly separate. Um, Another thing about Batman is that it's kind of an open secret, not even a secret. It's open among the Gotham City Police Department that he just works with James Gordon. Batman shows up to crime scenes. He's talking with the police officers. Uh some of them take issue with Gordon allowing this, especially the commissioner, or I think it was the commissioner at the beginning. Yeah, but still, I mean, it's not like, okay, they acknowledge he's a vigilante, but they don't really make moves to arrest him other than when he stages a confrontation with Gordon later on in the movie, and just so he can escape from the police station. Um, they don't unmask him when he's unconscious. They bring him to the police station, but they never actually pull the cowl off, which is kind of convenient. But they acknowledge, you're like, come on, let's just take it off, but they don't. um, let's see. He's got some cool tech. I like his little contact lenses that he puts in his eyes, which just changes his eye color, but it works as like little mini video cameras, which is cool. He even gives them to Selena to use, and then she later uses them to contact him. So that was pretty cool. Um, they do kiss. She kisses him after he like saves her life or something, or she saves his life. Actually, she pulls him up from a ledge or something. While he's like barely conscious, she kisses him. Later on, when they're about to part, it looks like they're gonna kiss, but then they don't. Um, oh, by the way, she is without her mask for a good portion of the film, especially toward the end. It's like the police like basically know who Catwoman is. She's just there in action with Batman and with the cops and everything. And oh, hello. You want to sit in my lap, Coco? Come on, Coco. Coco, sweetie, come here. Coco. Coco, my sweetheart. Coco. Come here. Coco. Come here. Yeah. Come here. Hi. Hi. Hi, Coco. I love you. Oh, Coco. Hi. Sir, don't touch the keyboard. Sniffing the keyboard. Oh. Okay. You want? Come on. Have a seat. Hi. Hi. Um. So, is there anything else about the movie itself that I want to mention? Oh, you don't really need to stay through the ending credits. There's no mid-credits scene, and there's not really an end credits scene. We see a computer screen from the Riddler was communicating with computers, and there's like text that comes on the screen, and I couldn't read all of it because it went by in a flash. But basically, I think they were hinting at someone. I think it was Clue or something that you have to like pause on and look at it, and so it wasn't really like a scene with any characters other than computer characters. So you don't need to stay unless you want to listen to the music. Um, so like after the final scene, and when the credits start, you can just get up and leave if you want. Um, it'll be available to stream on HBO Max sometime next month. I think in around 40 days or something. Um, but I'm glad that I went to see it in the theater. Uh, yeah, ticket price was like $10.91. I also got a large Pepsi. I usually don't get snacks or anything in the theater, but I was like, yeah, why not? So after the movie, I went to Walmart because I wanted to. What was I looking for? I wanted to see if they had Two Broke Girls on DVD because I used to see it at Walmart, but that was before I got into the show. And I had been meaning to get into the show, so I've been watching it on the Roku channel. I'm in season 3 right now. And I want to get a physical copy. But neither my Walmart nor the larger Walmart that I visited today had it. They've got so many obscure old series and stuff, but they don't have this relatively recent one. Now I saw a lot of stuff there that I wanted to get. I started picking up a bunch of stuff. They had the Dark Knight trilogy in 4K, so I was like, "Ooh!" They had the Joker in 4K. Is it the Joker or just Joker? I'm not sure. The Joaquin Phoenix one. I haven't seen it, but I picked that up. Ready Player One in 4K. Robotech, The Masters and the New Generation on Blu-ray because I already got the Macross saga. You probably saw that in one of my previous videos. So I started picking up all this stuff. I saw a random movie called, it was like a recent fantasy film starring kids called The Legend of the Five. It was on DVD, so I picked it up. They had Barbie 10 film collection. I picked it up. They had a bunch of different Batman stuff on Blu-ray, including Batman Beyond, which I already have. But they also had The Batman. Not this movie. It's a 2000s TV series called The Batman, which I watched back in the day. Now, here's the thing. Whenever I go to a larger Walmart that has a larger electronics selection, I always end up picking up a bunch of stuff. And then I have to stand around, think about it, decide what I really want to get. Like, what do I care enough about to want to have a physical copy? And I started doing research on my phone. I looked stuff up on Amazon. And by the way, Walmart, I don't know what it is. I don't know if they do this deliberately. I couldn't get a mobile data signal in there. And it kept disconnecting me from their Wi-Fi whenever I connected. So I don't know if they just deliberately don't want people looking stuff up on their cell phones while they're there. But anyway, I managed to look up everything. Now, here's the thing. I put most everything back on the shelf. The Legend of the Five, I read, isn't very good, like script-wise or acting-wise. Someone described it as a 1990 movie released today. I don't know. It's probably worth an Amazon rental. But I put it back. The Barbie collection, it's like $1.50 cheaper on Amazon, so I added it to my cart. Ready Player One, it's a bit cheaper on Amazon, so I added it to my cart. The Robotech Blu-rays were like $7 or $8 cheaper each on Amazon, so I added it to my cart. It's like a temporary price reduction, so I have to buy them now. But it'll still save me money compared to buying it at Walmart. And I can wait to get them. I don't need them right away. I have the Macross saga. I can watch that while I wait. As for the Dark Knight trilogy, I ultimately put it back on the shelf because I had all 3 movies on DVD back in the day. and I ended up giving them away because I just wasn't really attached to them. And sometimes it's difficult to, it's like you see a new movie with a character, and then you see some of the older movies with that same character, and it's like you want to buy them because you had just seen a new take on a character and you want to revisit some of the older films, and it's like I had to talk myself away from that because um I was thinking, it's like, yeah, sure, I enjoy the Dark Knight trilogy, but ultimately not enough to really want to own them because they are fairly depressing. And really, honestly, I'm not too much of a Batman fan that I would want the film trilogy. Really, the standout character for me was Selena Kyle, played by Anne Hathaway in The Dark Knight Rises. I really enjoyed her. Um, but yeah, so I put it back. I didn't get the Batman, the TV series, because while I enjoyed watching the series, and I enjoyed the fact that he chose that he got, well, he didn't choose, she kind of chose him. That Batgirl was his first partner, not Robin. That was fine. But really, the character that other than her, the character that I really enjoyed from that series was Detective Ellen Yin, played by Ming Na Wen. And she didn't even stick around for more than, I don't know, 2 seasons maybe. And I think it ran for 4 or 5 seasons. So, yeah. Um, let's see. So ultimately, I did buy one movie today there, um, because that was the one that was like cheaper at Walmart than on Amazon. So, but what that is, stay tuned for the next video because I've got a few things to show off. I'll do the next video right after this one. Um, but yeah, definitely go and see the Batman. Um, or if you want to wait, then you won't have long to wait to watch it at home. It'll be next month, around 40 days from now. So, yeah. Uh, Oddly enough, maybe it's because I went on Monday in that early afternoon, but I was the first one in the theater. I sat all the way in the front row. There were other people behind me, I think. I heard some people, but it was nowhere near full. Nowhere near. Like maybe there were a few other people besides me. Maybe it was just the time that I went. Who knows? Um, but anyway, I think that's all that I have to say about this film. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was dark. Uh, kind of pretty unnerving at some points. Um, Also, this is weird. All of the previews before the movie were like they were like a wider widescreen, but put in a smaller widescreen field. I don't know if what I'm describing makes sense, but basically there was black all around the image, and the image was just in the center of the screen. Um, yeah. So, and then the movie itself, it filled up the whole screen. I'm not sure what the aspect ratio of the screen in the theater is, but The movie was slightly wider than that. So I'm honestly not sure what the aspect ratio for this film was. But yeah. Um anyway, yeah, I think I've said all that I have to say about this movie. So stay tuned, like a few minutes from now, for my next video where I show off some stuff that I got. Okay, so it's 7:42 p.m. and that's it. Thanks for watching.